working on my sister's turd nugget car. It's actually a nice Toyota. This is good stuff. We're doing a wheel bearing. Hey, get the knuckle off the car. I'm sure somebody does a video on that. If you can't figure this part out, you definitely can't figure this part out. So, just saying. All right, look, we got the knuckle off the car. Keaton, zoom in here. Let's get this this dust ring out. Go ahead and spray some Pub Blaster on there, WD-40. And you can just work your way around and try to pry up on it. It may bend just a little bit. That's gonna be okay. So don't go hog wild on it, dude. You know, don't be like my son Denver with most of his toys. How about this one? Ah! Look at that. Pow! This is how we do it. We can do this now. There's a snap ring right here, guys. And we'll want to go ahead. It's got two little pincers there. A good way to, before you start trying to pull that out, is you have that PB Blast on there or other penetrating oil, and then use a screwdriver or a chisel if you have it and tap it a little bit to try to loosen it up in the seat that it's in. All right, so you just kind of come in here and just give a little love tap, all right? And once it starts moving around like it's doing, can you guys see that? And then we'll go ahead and use the snap ring pliers, pinch those together, and we'll pull this out. Keep an eye on that thing. If it flies off, good luck finding a replacement. All right, so I forgot what I was doing. Let me go pray about that. Be right back. All right, hey, snap on. I'm doing this for free for right now, but listen, once you bring me on, I expect you to take care of me. Get your snap ring pliers, your snap-on snap ring pliers. If you couldn't spend money on the snap-on ones, you got the Harbor Freight ones, they're not gonna work. Get it in there. We've already tried to loosen it up. And here's the thing, this one, if this flies out of here, you're not gonna find it. So I've got my hand over it. Bang. Come on in here. We gotta get the hub out of here now. That's this center part here, and that's the back. This is your hub. All right, so you got this far. Now we're gonna have some fun, all right? Check this out. Like I said, we gotta get the hub out. So pan out here for a second. So here's our hub, you know, what the wheel actually mounts to. And we need to get it out of the bearing. The back half of this hub slides through the bearing. The bearing is this piece on the outside. This is your hub, the back of the hub. It needs to come out of there. There's a number of ways you could do this. And there's the Griffzilla way that we're gonna do this. Grab yourself a socket that fits just inside the bearing here, all right? So we can see that it's resting just on the hub. I got my brother Keaton helping me out. All right, hit stop. Hey, this is a Toyota. We use Toyota parts. If you're smart, do your research. Koyo and NSK make the parts for Toyota and Honda for their bearings, a number of the bearings that they use on their timing belts. So when you know that, look for a Koyo one. You can save some money and get the same part that it comes with from the dealer. Only doesn't say Toyota on the box, it says Koyo. But when you open the part up, they both say Koyo. So to make sure you got the right size socket to smack this thing out, if you have any question about it, and make sure you're pushing on the right part, go ahead and just take your socket and stick it through the center. Look, it just fits. So we know this is that this socket is the right size to use. We're doing this the Griffzilla way. It's a Griffzilla way. It's a little unorthodox. That's okay. It's okay. There's no judgment here. This is a safe space, all right? Safe space. No, it's not. No, it's not. And we're about to see why. But before we do that, let's see how we got this set up. I've got one part of the knuckle clamped in here. I have the other part resting on this little lip right here, all right? If the backing plate gets bent some, just bend it back. It's Bo Jackson time. And Griffzilla's up. Home run. Hey, so we got our hub out. Doesn't matter how you did it, it's out now, right? If you couldn't afford to or chose not to buy a new hub, then you do need to get the bearing off of this hub. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut this off. I mean, one of these, fire this up, and you just cut into this. You're gonna kind of cut diagonally so that you're not cutting into a bunch of the hub. And you'll cut through, and when you get through all the way, you can just smack it with a chisel in the crack, and it'll split open, slide it right off. You may cut into the actual hub itself, into this shaft. If you do, that's okay. Don't freak out. It's gonna be just fine. Clean up if there's any harsh edges there, but it will be just fine. Please don't worry about that. Make sure you oil your air tools once every 6 months, or they're gonna go bad. All right? I'm being facetious. You should oil them every day. Safety first. Now we're here to party. It's a cutting party. Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn style. Once you go ahead and you cut that groove in it, so you can smack this area with a chisel or an air hammer, this will pop loose. We can slide it off. It's okay that it cut into the actual hub right here. Don't worry about that. So we're gonna hit it with the air hammer right here in this groove. If you don't have an air hammer, chisel and a hammer works just fine. The bigger the hammer, the better it's gonna work. You guys remember in the original Batman? Not the one with James Woods. Not that one. The one with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton. Not George Clooney. Not Val Kilmer. At the end, Jack Nicholson's there. He's like, he pulls this revolver out of his pants. He's just like, ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? That's it. I'll show you how to put it back together. Got this groove right here where I cut into it a little bit. That's okay. Don't freak out. Don't think you gotta go spend money if you don't have it. Just make sure you clean up any rough edges that you may feel on here. So take it over the wire wheel, clean it up, and let's get ready to put it back together. Hey, real quick before we get started, most people aren't gonna have an entire kit like I do. That's okay. Don't buy the OTC, Snap-on, Matco. It's gonna be like $700, $800. It's a ton of money. And chances are you don't do this for a living and don't need all that. You can get a cheap kit that should have the sizes you need. And maybe you buy one at Harbor Freight and you buy one on Amazon, you mix them together, you get what you need. Here's why. Because you need to have the right sizes to do this. If you don't have a 30 ton, a 20 ton or 30 ton press, you're not doing the job. So we're gonna push the bearing right here out the back side. And you know you're gonna push out the back because the snap ring was in here holding it in. Keep it level as you push on it. It's gotta be able to sit level on here, and it's gotta be big enough that you can get the bearing to push through it. Sometimes you gotta get a little creative with how to get this stuff on, get these on here, all right? If you see here, if this is crooked to here, that's not gonna work properly. It's gotta be level. We have a couple options. The hardest part is when you first start pushing on this to get the bearing to break free. Once it breaks free, you have some flexibility with how you can move it. All right, so remember, the base piece, it's not big enough around to fit the bearing through it. Once we get it started, I'll try to fit something else in here that it can fit through, that I can have level. The hard part is getting it to break free. Go ahead and find a piece that fits just inside here. So this here, it's gonna push on this outside edge. That there fits right in there. It's really important, especially when you go to push the new one in, that you got this thing level, all right? You put it in cockeyed, you have a bad day. You start cranking on it, like that Salt and Pepper song. Push it real good. That song sucks. I was making a part, and my tool blew apart. Does it look like an ER visit?
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to the ER.
So I cut off part of my ear. That's a sacrifice I was willing to make to show you guys how to do the bearings. Now, what you didn't see was I was making a spacer so that we would have a level surface for where the knuckle was gonna ride, so we could push it out. This sucks. I just called my wife. She wants me to go to the ER right away, but can't really do that with the car on the lift. Hey, if this video ends up helping you out or saving you money, and you want to help pay my emergency care bill or buy me a Chipotle burrito, that's about $9.97. I'd appreciate it. we'll finish as soon as he doctors me up. Keaton was he's a Navy corpsman, so pretty cool that God's timing I got my brother a Navy medic here. Now we can push out the rest of it. I'm gonna have a hard time talking because my face is messed up, my ear's messed up, and I got this tape on here. So bear with me, guys. Hopefully the rest of this is uneventful. I sure hope so. I should have went to Bible study tonight instead of doing this. Okay, got it level.
Once again, guys, push it real good.
I'm gonna need to move kind of quick here, guys. I hope that you catch most of this. Clean it out. Go ahead and lube up the inside of it. You don't have to lube it up. Obviously, a little lube doesn't hurt. Maybe I'll just reach up and grab some blood from my ear, lube it up. Now that'd be badass. You don't need anything to be underneath of it here because nothing's coming out the other side. Lube up the bearing as well. Okay, it doesn't matter which side goes down because this does not have a magnetic ring. If it does have a magnetic ring, the magnetic ring needs to be able to face the sensor. Set it in here. This is very important. Make sure that what you push it with rides just on the outside of the bearing. If it pushes on the center of the bearing, you'll blow it out and ruin it. So right there on the outside, get some building blocks out. Should be nice and level. You push this in until it feels like it bottomed out.
Don't worry, guys, we're not pushing it this time. It's my song. Griffzilla! Do you know I'm the best looking tech that does this stuff? I can't help it, I was born this way.
That's it. You need to put something on the back side here to make sure that when you push the hub in, it doesn't blow out the seal. So this here will keep pressure on the center part of the bearing so it doesn't blow out. If you took the backing plate off, don't forget to put it back on before you put on the hub. Sure it's nice and clean. Lube this up. Lube up the center of the bearing itself so that it can slide right.
All right, guys, just one more time.
Just push it in till it bottoms out.
Push it real good. That's it. That's
Hey,
it.
Snapping back in before we go back together, okay? Go ahead. You may want to grab it. It's always easier to grab it. Push down again. There's the tool that blew up. That wasn't snap-on. It was actually the blade came apart. So hey, we're gonna go put the snap ring back in. I'm gonna go to the ER. It's but a flesh wound. I always thought those movies were stupid. And just like before, you want to keep an eye on it, so it doesn't fly off somewhere. Slap it in there. You can just make sure it's seated all the way in its groove. And we're good. All right, you filming it, buddy?
Yeah.
I got my son Denver, my solid man, filming this for me. Here's an update of how my ear turned out. Denver, get a shot here of my boo-boo ear. Yeah, a little scar action. All right, check out my regular ear. Look at my non-boo-boo ear.
Filming it now.
Hey, I hope this video helped you out. Try to be safe when you're using those kind of tools. Hey, if it helped you out, please like and subscribe. Griffzilla Van Go, out. I'll see you next time.